Welcome to Notepad. I'm your host, Ibrahim Sani. This is, of course, Techtober. I've been mentioning this over and over again. There's a lot of consumer electronics that are in place, and all of them are pushing forward 5G technology and many more that is relevant to it. But it's not just about consumer electronics. It's about technology per se. It's about telecommunications. It's about trying to build infrastructure where it is driven by AI, by augmented reality, virtual reality, and many other applications surrounding it. And it's not just all these applications applying to the consumer world, but of course, the industrial world as well. We have a treat for you for this episode. We have the CEO of TM Research and Development, Sharlene Thiagarajah, CEO, joining us. Sharlene, thanks very much for speaking to us right now. Let's try to unearth or unpack that conversation of leveraging an open data exchange platform and big data in order for us to build a future-ready nation. Could you first explain to us what is open data and why would this be one of the big focus for the firm, for TM Research and Development?
Hi, Ibrahim. Thank you for having me here on the show. First, let me just do an intro about TM R&D, what we do. TM R&D is a wholly owned subsidiary of the TM Group. We will be 20 years old in April next year. And what makes TM so special is that there are not many telcos left in the world that still invest in R&D. And today we are the center of innovation for the group. So I will talk about this, and this is my passion. I'll talk about it in three parts. First, what is open data? And number two, why is it so important? And number three, why is it a focus for TM R&D? So firstly, I would describe open data as any data that is non-proprietary or non-sensitive that anyone can access, use, and share without restrictions. And I would go one step further to say it is really up to each organization to define what is non-sensitive and what can be shared. As an example, Ibrahim, if you were to stick a thermometer outside your office and collect temperature data every second and store it on the cloud, now that's open data. So back to your second question on why is it so important, and I'll give you another example. When we couple open data with simple correlations, organizations can gain greater insights to help your business. And insights here are like facts that were not obvious before and that is unique to your organization. So for example, if you have data on public holidays, let's say, and then you correlate that with information with staff attendance, for example, then you might find that typically you'll get more MCs after a public holiday than any other time of the year. And that's not good for business, especially if your business needs a minimum manning level to have an efficient operations. For example, if you're running a retail store or a makan place. And so with open data and good insights, I believe management can plan their business better. Why is it a focus for TM R&D? Now, because we have experienced it firsthand, how open data helped us as management make better decisions. Today, we are building solutions 3 to 4 times faster and at about 30% improved resource efficiency. And that's a tremendous cost savings, Ibrahim, for any organization.
Sharlene, we understand a little bit more about the open innovation platform that you guys are pushing forward. Could you describe to us a little bit more about open innovation platform?
So we launched our open innovation platform way back in 2018. And today it serves as a core component for TM's digital stack. We look at OIP like YouTube, and I hope everyone knows how YouTube works. So just like YouTube, Open Innovation Platform is a single platform that enables people to consume content and also to create and share content. And if they so wish it, to monetize the content. And here for us, content means data, open data, APIs, applications or services. And in this case, OIP serves as a data brokerage center. Now, we have 2 versions of OIP, an enterprise version and a community version, which is absolutely free for anyone to use. In fact, in March this year, we were appointed data technology partner by MDEC. And about a month later, we launched the Open Data Exchange platform in collaboration with MDEC to help harness global data for the fight against COVID-19. Now, this is for researchers and government agencies to build models and analyze data on COVID-19. This initiative was initiated by MDEC, and it's called COVID versus Digital. In addition, early this October, we were also supporting the government's Penjana Hackathon initiative with OIP. Now, the event was organized by Cradle, Magic, and other partners to harness SMEs and startups to build solutions for the government of Malaysia.
Because of this, how do you think this will impact businesses and users per se? Do you think that Open Innovation Platform is the way to go moving forward?
So at TMRND, we are creators and inventors at heart. So we believe in always starting small and then building out. And this is the smarter way because it allows implementation and growth plans to be agile. And so you can tweak along the way. So I believe we definitely need many platforms to do different things. Platforms to connect communities, platforms for internal business management, platforms for external business collaboration, government's plannings, and so on. And this is where platforms like the Open Innovation Platform can help. Now, ideally, once you have that in place, we need a blueprint to enable all these platforms to talk to one another and share information. And we've also built OIP to scale, which is where Telecom Malaysia and TMRND can help to serve in this capacity as well. And on another point, Ibrahim, with digital, many processes can be simplified and be made more efficient. So more real time, and this is really what people want. And I believe this is the real value of going digital. This is where platforms like OIP can help Malaysia become a digital nation, not just in name, but in substance and in value creation.
The issue here is, of course, getting a lot of stakeholders together and making this work. And based on some of the responses that you've given, what would be some of the challenges that you think is going to slow down this progress of adopting technology, of adopting digital? What would be some of the, I guess, key worries that you constantly think about?
I guess the data owners will naturally want to ask the question, who's going to use my data? And where is it going to be hosted, and so on. So these are some of the ground rules that can be put in place. Platforms may not need to be built for inter-company collaboration all at once. It could start from internally, and this is where the benefits TM and TM R&D has seen that we would like to share with everyone on harnessing your own internal open data for better correlations and insights for you to do better planning and for better business.
All right.
For example,
okay. Yeah, go on, for example.
For example, for industries or factories who have a lot of equipment and you have temperature data or sensor data, once you are able to correlate heat, time, use of equipment and some of the sounds that comes out of your machine, you would then correlate when would be the best time to do maintenance, or when is the right time for the equipment to be replaced. And this, if you do it in a better way, then your operations will run smoothly without any breakdowns.
All right. We'll take a short break before we continue our conversation with TM R&D. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for staying on. This is Notepad. I have with me on the line Sharlene Thiagarajah, the CEO of TM Research and Development. Sharlene, let's talk a little bit more about the environment that we're facing right now. COVID-19 has resulted in a lot of companies shutting down, a lot of jobs lost. In fact, there was a recent survey that shows a lot of Malaysians are actually worried about their job security. Let's talk a little bit more about on the safety of job security for Malaysians. How does your platform help, and how does your platform, I guess, impact the lives of Malaysians out there?
It's an interesting question, Ibrahim. So let me just start that we launched actually a solution, we call it eWar in April, just at the beginning of the pandemic rolling out in Malaysia. Now, eWar stands for Contactless AI-Driven Thermal Camera Solution. We launched two models of eWar, eWar Crowds and eWar Compact. eWar Crowds is for mass screening, 15 people per second simultaneously. eWar Compact is more serial one-on-one screening. So both solutions capture information on high temperature and sends real-time mobile alerts to the response teams on the ground in real-time response time. So, in this way, our customers can store information on the cloud or on premise for future analysis and contact tracing, depending on the SOP of the organization of the governments. So this is one way for us to kind of do away with having a person sitting or standing in front of your store or in a building entrance with a handheld thermometer gun, taking temperatures manually. I mean, this is such a waste of valuable resource, if you ask me. Now, both these solutions support digital and workforce safety at the same time, and both were built on the Open Innovation Platform. Now, touching on your question about job security, OIP functions like YouTube, like I said, but for data and digital solutions. So it actually has three main functions: data brokerage, like YouTube, service hosting, and also serves as an end-to-end IoT service creation platform. So imagine that to be like a marketplace for content creation and commercialization. So here we help entrepreneurs create solutions and explore new revenue opportunities, not just in Malaysia, but globally.
What would be some of the cost outlay that is going to be involved? Because a lot of businesses are worried that, while they are interested in digitizing their business, in adopting new technology, they are also worried about the capital outlay that might be involved. Do you think that's going to be a sizable investment moving forward for these kind of companies if they adopt these kind of solutions?
So I always believe in a digital fit for purpose. So different companies will have a different expectation or a different want. And you would only invest on something if there is a return at the end of the day, obviously a business case or an ROI. And we see digital being implemented to improve efficiency on how you do business, to safety for your workforce, as well as higher productivity. You would get to reduce a lot of manual interventions and so on. Capital outlay is dependent on what you choose and how you choose to do it. So adopting open innovation platforms like TM, when we have a free model as well, where you can just go in and start using, things like analytical modules or engines that have already been built, and it's put into the open innovation platform for free. And this will enable companies to have their data, tap onto this engine to provide insights, rather than having to hire a data scientist or a funky data expert in your own organization. So these are small measures that we think could help companies, kind of find a balance between investing in digital and the benefits and reaping the benefits of it.
All right, let's talk a little bit more about some of the other commercialized solutions developed by TM R&D. How do you identify and determine the approach for such innovation? And how do you think the kind of approach is going to be accepted or implemented by these kind of users or companies?
Ibrahim, our ethos is innovation with purpose. So before we embark on any project, we first determine what is the business problem we want to solve, and then what is the business impact that it will bring if we were to solve it. We look at new revenue generation, we look at cost savings, we look at potential cost avoidance, efficiency gains, productivity gains, and even safety. Now, I'm very blessed that I have an incredible team at TM R&D. So within a short period of time, we have actually commercialized more than 10 solutions used both within TM and outside TM. In fact, we have even exported some of our solutions outside Malaysia. Our strength is in connectivity. We have four main strengths actually. First is in connectivity, data brokerage. Then we do intelligent support systems. That is building AI or artificial intelligence engines that sits on existing telco operation support stacks. Because most companies have already invested in a lot of their core systems. So when all these new technologies like AI and machine learning comes into place, it doesn't make business sense to just scrap out the investments that you've already made. But what you need is an intelligence layer that could work with your core systems and so on. And that's some of the things we have built for Telecom Malaysia. And of course, last but not least, smarter digital solutions and ecosystems, which we are championing right now. So out of this, I would like to share, we have 5 examples of solutions we have commercialized that cuts across multiple industry verticals. Now, the very first is, of course, the Open Innovation Platform, which is a data brokerage platform that we launched in 2018, now running more than 27 million API calls. Then similarly in 2018, we launched the Smart Safety Helmet for ultimate safety at the worksite. We also launched Force. This is quite a list. I hope you allow me this, Ibrahim. Force, which is a workforce management solution that cuts across industry verticals. Then about a year ago, we launched 2 models of EWO, like I told you about. They're all award-winning solutions, Ibrahim. We won an award at the Malaysia Tech Excellence Award for this. We have more than 150 sites nationwide. And EWO has also been exported outside Malaysia. 2 more, which cuts the industry side of things. We built an Internet of Water solutions we call SWIMS, which won an award recently at the TM Forum Excellence Award. This leverages AI and machine learning to reduce non-revenue water leakages in the network. And this is incredible stuff. And finally, of course, our work on intelligent support solutions, Camellia, Force, Spice.ai, which I will share more when we launch it outside of Telecom Malaysia. So watch this space, Ibrahim.
Of course. Okay, we'll take one more short break before we continue our conversation with Sharlene, CEO of TM R&D. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Sharlene Thiagarajah, the CEO of TM R&D, is on the line with us. Sharlene, let's try to make things actionable right now. There's a lot of solutions that are coming out of your company, and some businesses watching this interview might be interested in finding out more. How would businesses acquire some of the solutions that TM Research and Development have? Could you tell us a little bit more about that process?
Very simple. Visit us at our website at www.tmrnd.com.my, or another way is to contact us at business@tmrnd.com.my. My team will be in touch with you and take it to the next step.
Let's also go through some of the ideas of where you want to take that company from here onwards. What would success look like for TM Research and Development?
Wow. To me personally, Ibrahim, success is when our innovation is in everything you see and everything you use. Our vision is to enrich humanity and bring progress to nations. This is not just nation, but nations, meaning we are looking at more exports and we are looking to support humanity everywhere.
Okay. The thing about being an R&D inside a big company is that you have the luxury to tap on some of the ideas and some of the solutions that TM is currently doing and try to see where you can add on to that and enhance that. Has that process been easy for the company in trying to find out more solutions, basically taking what you guys have at the group level and try to implement it at your own house, i.e. TM R&D? Or is it better for you guys to be a standalone institution, try to push forward greater R&D on your own and then export it to the group? What was the, I guess, relationship in terms of finding out solutions from what you have at the group level versus what you guys are originating the solutions from? How does that work for you guys?
Well, that's an excellent question, Ibrahim. In fact, TM R&D is 19 years old this year, will be 20 next year. And we tried many, many models. So in the past, TM R&D was always reporting into the group through a division and so on. But as of 2020, early 2020, we are now reporting directly to the group CEO, meaning, and we're still a subsidiary, a wholly owned subsidiary, reporting straight to the group CEO, but with a broader mandate to look across the organization. We are deemed as an independent subsidiary, meaning giving some leeway to plan and execute things in a very entrepreneurial way. But you raise an excellent point. Being with the group has given us a lot of opportunity and a solid foundation of anchoring solutions on a particular vertical. It is never easy to, because the tacit knowledge of a particular vertical is not easy to find. You need to be in, for example, in our case, telco, to understand telco operation systems, the issues, and then you can carve out what problem you want to solve. And that has brought us a great benefit. So we're taking that advantage of having an anchor competency, and then build and having it deployed within TM and understand what works and what doesn't, and then only bring out the successes to the nation or to other industries, and then of course to export. And I think this ecosystem is perfect for us. I mean, in our case, and perhaps could be a model for other companies who intend to do R&D and collaboration work on R&D.
Is it possible for you to share the percentage of revenue of the group that is channeled back to R&D? And does this mean that you, as a company, TM Research and Development, get that entire chunk, or is it being, I guess, divvied up across all the other R&D functions inside the group?
So in 2019, I think this was published in our annual report, TM invests about 60 million in R&D. And for us and as the entire group to have a piece of that grant, it's really about pitching on work or projects that we want to do that brings benefit. And this is how we measure the impact of our work. And like I mentioned, in 2019, we delivered 1.6 billion of innovation impact based on the fundings that we get.
Do you feel that this needs to be increased, or is that enough? 60 million is a lot to me. I mean, I don't have 60 million in my wallet, but for an industry like the telco industry, is that sufficient to push forward for greater findings and discoveries inside research and development?
Well, we started small, and today, as we expand and grow and have a lot more of our work and solutions being used, both in TM and outside TM, naturally we have a desire to grow and to build better and bigger things. And I think this is the balance that we will need to strike between seeking more funds and generating our own funds to create more innovations as we go along.
Okay, Sharlene, the budget season is upon us. Amid the political turmoil that happened earlier in the week, or in the previous weekend and all that, it seems like this government is still chugging along. Very recently, the government presented the Laksana report, basically listing down the kind of things that they have dished out, including programs like My Future Jobs or your National Employment Services Provider Scheme, and all the other things that are currently being in place. And the Finance Minister, Tun Zafrul, took a lot of pain in trying to establish the kind of things that the government is trying to do or has done. But the budget 2021 is still something that is very important for the government and for us, people and companies, you included, Dr. Sharlene, and of course myself. There's a lot of views. Some opposition MPs are also saying that they want to support it if it's sound and credible. So while all this is being hyped up on a company level, right? As a company like TMRND, what would be some of the wish lists that you want to come out of budget 2021? What would be some of the ideas that you think must be addressed or should be addressed or nice to be addressed by the government in this budget?
I believe the government is on the right track already with numerous Penjana initiatives to stimulate the economy, to promote digital adoption, and to promote ecological sustainability. Now, this is important because for economic activity to be sustainable, Mother Earth needs to be healthy and thriving as well. So my wish list for budget 2021 is for the government to continue to stimulate the economy, drive digital adoption, and in this sense, open data as well, because these two things go hand in hand, and to strike a balance between economic progress and the environment. Naturally, incentives for R&D, creation, buying local, open data platforms, and so on, is on my personal wish list for R&D.
Fantastic. Okay, I wish you all the best and stay safe and stay healthy. But for now, that was the conversation that we had with Dr. Sharlene Thiagarajah, the CEO of TM R&D. Remember to catch these kind of interviews on your mobile devices. Just download the Astro AWANI app wherever you get the application. But for now, that's it from me. Thanks very much for watching. Until next time.